Hello everyone, in this video we will talk about eukaryotic transposons. I have made 3 videos for transposons. In the first video, I have given introduction about transposons, like the types of transposon, what is transposons, what is transposition and all. Second video include prokaryotic transposons, and this is the third video which include eukaryotic transposons. Okay. We can categorize eukaryotic transposons into 2 groups. The group 1, those which the transposons which are similar to bacterial IS elements. That means they will have inverted repeats at both the terminal end, like 5' and 3' end, and there will be a gene coding for transposase enzyme. Okay, so this will be similar to the bacterial IS element. Group 1 and group 2 group 2 will have the mechanism of transposition by replicative process. Like, for example, they will first transcribe the DNA molecule, that is a transposon DNA, into RNA, that will be reverse transcribed with the help of enzyme reverse transcriptase into cDNA molecule. This will be your RNA, then cDNA molecule will be formed, and this cDNA molecule will form a double stranded structure, that is double stranded DNA molecule, that will get inserted into a new DNA or new target site on the same DNA. That is, they move by copy and paste method, and group 1 move by cut and paste method. Okay, so examples of group 1 includes P elements and controlling elements in maize. Controlling elements in maize. Okay, P elements in Drosophila. Sorry. Examples of group 2 includes TY elements in yeast, and ALU or ALU sequences in human. These are examples. Okay, P elements and controlling elements in are the examples of group 1. P elements found in Drosophila, controlling elements in maize, and group 2, the examples of group 2 include TY elements. This is TY elements in yeast and ALU sequence in human. So we will discuss about P elements first. P element is 2.9 kb in length, and since I have told you this belongs to group 1, that is similar to IS element of bacterial cells, so this is similar to IS elements. Okay, so this will have a structure like this. There will be inverted repeats. Okay, inverted repeats are sequences in inverted orientation. Okay, so this P elements encodes a gene for transposase enzyme, and there will be inverted repeats on both the ends. The structure is very simple, just like IS elements. But one major thing is that P elements are responsible for a disease in Drosophila known as hybrid dysgenesis. It's a disease that results in sterile progeny. 2 strains in Drosophila can be found. One is P strain and the other is M strain. P strain encodes for a gene called repressor protein, which is responsible for keeping the transposon gene silent. Repressor keep transposon silent. But M strain lack the repressor protein. Okay, M strain lack the repressor protein. P strain has a repressor protein that helps to keep transposon immovable. So whenever M strain, a male M strain is mated with a female P strain, what happens is that presence of lot of repressor molecule in the eggs of P strain repress or prevent transposition of P element. Okay, because of the presence of repressor protein. So F1 progeny appears to be normal. It's normal. But if a P strain male is mated with a M strain female, due to lack of repressor protein in the eggs, the P elements become mobilized. Lack of repressor protein in eggs leads to P element transposition, which results in F1 sterile progeny. This is a disease called hybrid dysgenesis. So this was all about P elements. Now we will see what is controlling elements. So controlling elements are found in maize. Okay, controlling. Let me write controlling elements. Second, controlling elements found in maize. It was first named as controlling elements by Barbara McClintock. Please check the spelling. I'm not sure about the spelling. There are two classes, okay, of controlling elements. First is your AC or activator elements. These are autonomous controlling elements. I have already discussed what is autonomous transposons in my first video, in the introductory video of transposons. Please check that video. Actually, autonomous elements are those which have a gene coding for transposes of its own. Okay, transposes gene. Okay, and they are capable of transposition. That means they are self-sufficient. Group 2 includes your DS or dissociation class. Okay, they are deletion derivative of AC. Deletion derivative means what? Deletion derivative of AC elements. Deletion derivative means they are derived from AC elements which have lost the function of transposes gene. Okay, they don't have a functional transposes gene that can produce a transposes enzyme. They are dependent on transposes from other AC elements. Okay, so they have sequence at their both the ends, complementary sequence, or you can say the sequence that the transposes gene derived from AC elements can bind in the DC. Okay, they don't have a proper functional transposes gene. So this is all about your group 1 eukaryotic transposons. The group 1 eukaryotic transposons have structure completely similar with IS elements. Group 2, the examples of group 2 is Ty elements in yeast and Alu elements in humans. They move by the replicative process. That means they first produce RNA intermediate utilizing RT or reverse transcriptase enzyme. There are two types. One is your LTR and the other is non-LTR. LTR means those having long terminal repeats at both the end, that is 5' and 3' end. There will be long terminal repeats, and non-LTR will lack long terminal repeats. LTR retrotransposons are also called viral retrotransposons. LTR will have a structure like this, okay. They will have a gene coding for different proteins like your reverse transcriptase enzyme, then integrase enzyme, and other retroviral proteins. Sorry about that, viral proteins, okay. And at both the ends, that is 3' and 5' terminal, there will be a stretch of long terminal repeats. This will be your long terminal repeats, which can be of 250 to 600 bp in size. And on both sides of LTR, there will be direct repeats, that is in the left and right, both the left and right hand side, there will be direct repeats, presence of direct repeats. This is the LTR repeats will be found in Ty elements in yeast. Ty elements in yeast. So how they move? First, the retrotransposon will form a RNA molecule with the help of RNA pol 2. Then there will be formation of cDNA. This will be your cDNA, this will be your RNA with the help of enzyme reverse transcriptase. And then there will be formation of 2 strands of DNA, which will get integrated into a new DNA strand. Suppose if this is your cDNA, double-stranded cDNA, that will get integrated into the new DNA molecule with the help of the enzyme integrase. So a copy of the original retrotransposon is made, which is integrated into the new target site, which I have already discussed in my first video of what is retrotransposons. I have already discussed about it. You can check that video if you want to learn more about it. But this is the general basic concept, okay. Your transposal element will be converted into RNA with the help of RNA polymerase 2. Then RNA will be converted into a cDNA molecule with the help of reverse transcriptase. This cDNA will form a double-stranded structure that will get integrated into the new site. That is, a copy of the original retrotransposon will be inserted into the new DNA. There will be increase in copy number, okay. The original one will remain inserted in the original DNA or donor DNA molecule. There will be no cut of the retrotransposon. Now comes your non-LTR retrotransposons. They will lack LTR, lack LTR sequence, but they will have a 80 reach sequence, stretch of sequence, 80 reach sequence at one end, okay, not both the end, only at one end. Examples include signs and lines. Signs means your short interspersed nuclear elements, and lines means your long interspersed nuclear elements. So lines is your autonomous type of retrotransposons. That means they will have their own transposase gene that will code for the transposase enzyme, and they will move by replicative process. And example is your L1 line family in human. The structure is like this. They will have direct repeats at both the ends. There will be 5' untranslated region and 3' untranslated regions. There will be two genes called ORF1 and ORF2. ORF1 codes for RNA binding protein, codes for RNA binding protein, and ORF2 codes for two enzymes. They are bifunctional protein. One is one codes they code for reverse transcriptase enzyme and endonuclease enzyme. Two enzymes. They will code for two enzymes. How they work? If this is your DNA, suppose. Sorry about that. They will have a they will have a 80 rich sequence, as I have already told here in one end, A. So other strand will have T. So they are called 80 rich sequence. Okay, and there will be your direct repeats after this 80 rich sequence. The structure will be like this. So this is how line transposons replicate. First, their genes will be transcribed into RNA molecule, which will have a long stretch of A sequences. Then that will be converted into a cDNA molecule with the help of reverse transcriptase enzyme, and then cDNA molecule will form double stranded structure, and with the help of enzyme endonuclease they form nick in the new target site and then will get integrated into the new target site. This is how L1 family works, move by transposition method. Okay. Science actually needs they need the enzymatic machinery of lines for transposition, because they are non-autonomous for transposition, because they are non-autonomous. Sines are non-autonomous molecule. They don't have their own transposase enzyme and they are dependent on lines for their movement. Examples are ALU elements in human genome. They are called ALU elements because they have restriction sites for ALU enzymes. Okay. So this is about the structures of the eukaryotic transposons and how they move in eukaryotic cells. There are various applications of transposons, like they are used as cloning vector because of the presence of drug resistance gene. They are very much helpful in development of plasmid as cloning vector. They are used in gene therapy and many more. Thank you for watching this video.